Trump stepping up his rallies and appearances, obviously here 3 weeks to go until Election Day.
The former president has also called for increased security in these final weeks. Follows an arrest of a man who was outside his recent California rally, and then, of course, those looming threats by Iran. Joining us now, Joe Gamaldi is the National Vice President of the Fraternal Order of Police. Jessie Duff is the Executive Director for Veterans for Trump. Welcome to you both, and thanks for coming on. So the latest news out of the Trump camp is that the former president has not played golf since his second assassination attempt on him at his golf club in Florida. ABC is reporting he won't play again until a new security plan is in place. There have been calls by Team Trump to increase security, including the assistance of military aircraft. Joe, do you think that's necessary? I mean, how dangerous is it for the former president to be out on the campaign trail?
Well, I think it's extremely dangerous. I mean, keep in mind, we are the richest, most powerful country in the world. And it boggles the mind that we are not doing everything in our power to protect Donald Trump or any presidential candidate for that matter. I mean, keep in mind, there has been 3 assassination attempts, the latest in Riverside, where they stopped a man armed with multiple weapons and fake IDs. We have a credible threat from Iran on the president's life. So it's all hands on deck to protect him. And if you think that there's not going to be copycats, I mean, these dirtbags are just begging for attention to go after Donald Trump because of the rhetoric against him. I mean, the underlying cause that's pushing all of this is we have an entire group of people in this country who are calling Donald Trump a threat to democracy, a Nazi, Hitler, a threat to our country and our very existence. So if you think that's not going to have an effect on people who are already unhinged, you're either insane or delusional.
Powerful words there from Joe Gamaldi. Jessie Duff, you know, Emma was mentioning about the military support or the aircraft, excuse me, due to the assassination attempts that we've seen, multiple ones. Here's the Washington Post tear about it. But one security expert on CNN spoke about this very idea of a military aircraft for Trump's safety. Here's that.
So the plane is a different story because if you think about the Secret Service, the government taking a threat-based methodology, applying protection. So what are you saying here is that, are you saying that there's a fear or that there's intelligence that there potentially could be an unmitigated threat out there that has the ability to launch an attack on an aircraft? If that's really true, then there are alarm bells that should be ringing all over the government.
I'm curious to know how you would respond to that, Jessie. Obviously, you served in the military. Just overall thinking of these. Remember, Trump holds these rallies, thousands attend, especially when he's outdoors. And then you think about Thomas Matthew Crooks in Butler, PA, who was able to get several shots off and ended deadly. Trump was shot in the ear, and 2 others were critically wounded in that moment. That person was able to get in with a scope, with a drone. So this request, it was analyzed this way on CNN. What is your response?
Well, hearing somebody have such cynicism on CNN just kind of makes me more or less very disappointed that they're being so irresponsible, doing their armchair quarterbacking. The fact is that Iran has made threats against President Trump's life, and the campaign has been briefed on this. It is actually real intelligence. This isn't artificial. Beyond the shooters that have been found on the ground, we're talking about actually potentially an attack by Iran to take out President Trump. And why would that be? Because billions of dollars have funneled back into Iran by the Harris-Biden campaign. Joe Biden made a threat to Iran that any attack against President Trump would be perceived as an act of war. That actually was a very responsible statement by somebody who has been very lackluster in a lot of his rhetoric against Iran. This is a real threat. So the campaign has requested that there is military aircraft that can fire missiles if there is anything directed at President Trump's aircraft, along with having ballistic glass that will prevent any weapon from impeding while he's speaking in the 7 swing states. They requested this of Secret Service. There is no other candidate who has ever been like President Trump. So for these leftists to actually mock it or roll their eyes at it, they know darn well that this man's out there more than anybody else, and he does present an actual threat to the industrial military complex that just seems to be funneling money to Iran and having these endless wars.